On to GNX. Shout out to everybody for being here, man. Hit that like button. Sub up, sub up, sub up. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some of the numbers, man. Like some of the things that we really haven't seen. Some things I haven't seen over the last couple of weeks, I'd say, is just numbers about what these cities are doing. I don't know if it's just coming out slower. I don't know if they're just not posting those numbers anymore. But I haven't seen anything since Seattle. So that would include LA. That would include the Bay. That would include Vegas. So there's been like 4 or 5 dates and we haven't really heard anything as far as what they've been making. I'm saying that because people have been asking me, yo, we haven't heard you talk about numbers. I just haven't seen any numbers. So if you guys end up seeing numbers, y'all let me know. So Kendrick Lamar's GNX becomes the fastest rap album of this decade to surpass 3 billion streams on Spotify. Now, this is the section where we just kind of talk about numbers and kind of some of the new things that have happened over the last couple of weeks. Last couple of days, I say. Last couple of days within the last week or so. Just kind of keep you guys up to date with what's going on with GNX. And when this is over, we done with that too. Kendrick Lamar's GNX becomes the fastest rap album of this decade to surpass 3 billion streams. And I mentioned that because we were looking at it, I think we were looking at it last week, where it was like 2.9 billion streams. And that's a lot of streams, gang. GNX is still on repeat. Listen, this is lame, but yet they're going to make Drake music and being suppressed. Oh, you talking about the other thing. Kendrick Lamar's GNX becomes the fastest rap album of this decade to surpass 3 billion streams. We talked about that last week when it was at like 2.7 or 2.9 billion streams. And it was getting hundreds of thousands of streams a day. So we kind of knew it was going to be hitting 3 billion streams pretty soon. But that's just something new to take a look at. So shout out to Kendrick and the GNX album doing 3 billion streams. It's the fastest rap album of the decade to do that. I definitely like to look at a comparison to see where some of those other artists are too. So the best-selling albums in 2025 so far by total units, sitting at number 1 is GNX. I wonder how many total units it sold so far. I want to know what the total number is. Like how many units it sold so far. SOS at number 3. Debí tirar más fotos is number 2. I'm the Problem is number 4. Short and Sweet is number 5. Hurry Up Tomorrow is number 6. Some Sexy Songs For You is on the list. Best-selling albums in 2025 at number 7. One Thing at a Time is number 8. Number 9 is Mayhem. And number 10 is Music, which is... I thought the album name was I Am Music, but I guess it's just Music. That's Cardi. So round out the top 10. Round out top 10 is Cardi. And then on to the next item that we could talk about. Longest running rap albums in the top 5 of the Billboard 200 this century. I guess if we're not talking just rap, are we just talking rap? Because rap hasn't been around that long. So this century is kind of a crazy stat because it hasn't been around that long. But we'll talk about it anyway. Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon at 34 weeks. Views at 28 weeks. GNX at 26 weeks, which has got a couple weeks to get there, and about 8 more weeks to actually beat Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. Well, that's only 25 years. GNX is still on repeat. He deserves it all. Damn at 23 weeks. My Turn at 22 weeks. So GNX is still charting. The rest of these are not, obviously. But GNX is still charting. So I guess we get to see how long he's going to stay in the top 5. What are your guys' predictions? Let me know. Crew, Cuzzo, what up? My boy, what up, man? So yeah, man, I think that's a really cool stat to look at too. And we'll see where it finishes at. Again, kind of got to wait to see where that's going to go. I think it's going to be there for at least 34 weeks. At least 34 weeks. I don't know if it'll beat 35, but at least 34 weeks. Let me know what your guys' predictions are in the comments. I appreciate it. The fastest rap songs to surpass 1.5 billion streams in Spotify history. Damn. Spotify history. So how many days? So the fastest rap song to surpass 1.5 billion streams in Spotify history. Number 1 is Not Like Us, is the fastest to 1.5 billion streams, which is in 388 days. So just over a year it took to get 1.5 billion streams. Industry Baby was playing like that. I didn't think Industry Baby was playing like that. Rockstar at 596 days. God's Plan took over 2 years to get there. Yeah, because I got to check my math. Y'all would be like, God's Plan took over. I thought that would have been higher than that, to be honest. God's Plan was kind of all over the place. Lucid Dreams at 848 days. So almost, well, a little less than 3 years with Lucid Dreams. So Not Like Us is the fastest with almost a year, just over a year to get 1.5 billion streams in Spotify. And these are the fastest songs to do it in history. What's up, Noah? What up, J2? I'm glad that some of you are saying Aubrey is bad for hip hop. I'm also puzzled by why it took so long for people to realize this. Bad for hip hop is subjective. I think that's why, right? And I think a lot of people, rap goes through phases, right? So a lot of people thought the South was bad. The South and snap music and that kind of stuff was bad for hip hop, and ringtone songs was bad for hip hop. So I think it just took people a little bit of time to really realize exactly what was happening and kind of see the plan from start to finish, from the beginning to where it is now. Drake came in as a non-traditional rapper, and I think some people were okay with it and some people weren't. And I think the longer we got a chance to know him and figure out exactly who he was, you got to see maybe this just isn't the artist for me, right? Maybe it's not the artist for me. It's the writing. It's the lack of writing. It's the culture vulturism. It's the consistent colonization and taking from different artists, and that kind of stuff are the only things that you can see over time, right? So I think that's what it is. Crunk music, right? What up, Bana? So I think that's why. I don't know for certain. That's just my take on it. All right. What else we got? Kendrick Lamar's GNX has now spent half a year in the top 5, 26 weeks. Okay, we just talked about that. It's the third longest running rap album in the top 5 this century. So, I mean, rap's only been around for like 50 years. So I get it though. I get it. Kendrick Lamar and SZA's Luther remain at number 5 on this week's Billboard Hot 100, longest running number 1 hit in 2025 with 13 weeks, which it is no longer number 1 anymore, but it's still here in the top 5. And it did 13 weeks at number 1, which is dope. So what's beating it? Alex Warren. Bro, I've never heard of Alex Warren. Who is that? Anytime we talk about numbers in top 10, I always see Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen, What I Want. Morgan Wallen, Just in Case. Morgan Wallen, I'm the Problem. Luther, Kendrick and SZA. A Bar Song, Shabuzi, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Teddy Swims, Lose Control, Drake No Kids at 9. Man, a lot of these songs have been here for a while. Beautiful Things at number 10. Shout out Hip Hop Global, I appreciate you, man. But a lot of these songs have been here for a while. This Century means since 2000. Oh, bro, I'm like, hey, Reactor X, hey, thank you for that. I'm like, this century. I'm like, man, we talking 100 years, bro? Man, thank you for telling me that, man, because I would have kept saying that. Thank you for that. See, hey, man, live reactions, man. Appreciate you for that, though. Thank you. Luther now ties Not Like Us as the longest running number 1 hit in history on Billboard's Hot R&B and hip hop song charts with 22 weeks. So Luther is tying Not Like Us. I kind of see Luther probably kind of have a longer life than Not Like Us, because Not Like Us is a diss. And once that kind of fades out, it fades. But Luther is kind of transcending, man. Luther is really transcending. Morgan Wallen is a chart monster. They'll be back on top next week. Bruh. My bad, gang. So yeah, like I said, I think Luther has a little bit more staying power than Not Like Us, because we've seen that just kind of do its thing, bro. And it's still a crazy banger. We still seen it at all the shows. All right. Enough with that. Those are some of the numbers. Let's go ahead and move on to the sold out shows at the Oracle and Allegiant Stadium.